We came so far from dreams. The path was hard for me. They thought we fall, you see. Well, look at us now, look at us now. We make it hot when we on the scene. Yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team. Yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around. You know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we. Tell me who better than we. We soaring to places you never could reach. When we walk in that spot, don't hear none of you speak. Shh, do you want peace or the peace? A king about to put you to sleep. Listen, my team is elite. You not even qualified to compete. He starving, he barely can eat. I guess that's why he always itching for beef. So I put him on ice and I told him to chill. Close your mouth if you can't pay for the meal. Making statements that you know you don't mean. Nice guy trying to act like he mean. Keep it a buck, keep it a bean. Attitudes will put you dudes in the beam. Izuku, he don't live in reality. Shake back off, come on fatality. Yeah, how you gon' hate when you mirror us? He think he a star, he ain't serious. X him out, we not on the same frequency. If you broke, you ain't hearing us. Work the screw, anime, that's how I feel, period. We winning, that's making them furious. We make it high when we on the scene, yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team, yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around, you know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we.
Yo, what it do, guys? It is your boy, Mooky here, back with you with another new part of What If Deku Had Monsuno. This is part 7, and honestly, this is the part that I've been looking forward to doing on this series for a long time now, and you're gonna see why. Because it involves the true function of Izuku's quirk outside of sensing Monsuno essence and understanding his Monsuno. But with that, let's go down to a quick recap. Given what last part was, Izuku was basically called by Aizawa, given that he knows the truth about Block and the Monsunos, given that he's an ally to Hisashi. Not only that, he wanted to give Locke to him as well. However, Locke is Izuku's partner and his responsibility. No way in hell he's going to give him up, even to his homeroom teacher that he just met. But wanting to make sure that Midoriya is, responsible to handle that of Locke, he sends Izuku alongside his team to see about that of a shipment of Monsuno essence. However, the rumor was nothing but a trap, actually, for that of a mercenary Monsuno controlling team led by that of the former second best French pro hero Medea and her team Darkspin. However, Medea is the kind of woman who basically prefers a fair fight, wanting to take down that of her opponent under her own terms, not with that of tricks. Unlike that of her original counterpart from the TV show, who would rather win no matter what. With Team Cortec defeating her and her lackeys, and now Izuku has a better trust over his teammates, being Mei and Yu. So, with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? As the next day begins, Izuku heads back to UA, where the classes are basically the same that you would see in any other Japanese high school. The only difference is, the teachers are pro heroes in charge of the curriculums, as each pro has a degree in at least one subject after all, outside of just being a pro hero. So, honestly, the school isn't half bad, not to mention Lunch Rush, of all people. The pro that can basically make any food is also in charge of making lunch. Not to mention, all the lunches are basically free. Of course, a certain brunette girl in that of Izuku's friend group was basically accepting of that. However, Izuku's time at UA on his second day was a lot more eventful, mainly because of two things. One, Mei being part of his friend group, as he always had to make sure that she's eating. Figures that as he had to basically head to that at the, support studio after all, given that she's always too interested in that of making her support gear, aka her babies, too much. Especially finding out that she wants to make support gear for their Monsunos after all. However, when she basically brought that up, both that of, Ida and Ochako were kind of confused, as they thought that the Monsunos was Izuku's quirk, but he basically says that they're basically support gears. His quirk allows him to interact with that of his support gear after all. And when he basically called that of Locke, Deep Six, Evo, and that of Nightstone support gear, let's just say all four of them were kind of pissed off at that, as he had to mentally, apologize to all of his Monsuno partners after all. But now it's time for the one last class for the hero course, as it being that of hero training. Actually, the hero course has that of two hero-based, classes actually. Hero informatics, which is basically going over that of hero laws and hero regulations and in the history of hero society, while that of hero training is basically what it states for. And training as that of heroes, based on that of either combat, rescue, or quirk improvement. And as everybody in that of the class, as 1A continues wondering where their teacher is and who it is going to be after all, given that all their other teachers have been that of pro heroes, who else could it be? But then soon, they can hear somebody in the hallway say, "I am here, coming through the door like that of a normal person." As everybody's seeing that of the number one pro of Japan and the symbol of peace, All Might, and his blonde-haired glory with that of his bright $1 million smile, and not even wearing his traditional costume, which is all blue, but instead wearing that of his Silver Age costume, as its colors is that of red and blue. However, the top of his costume is all red with that of white stripes coming in that of a unique pattern, alongside that of a blue spandex over that of his legs, which also has the same white pattern too, with that of yellow boots. As he steps to the podium with each and everybody getting excited, having that of the number one pro is their hero course teacher, as they all couldn't help but believe that the rumors are true about him being a teacher at UA. With then, All Might couldn't help but speak up saying, "I know that you're all excited that I am your teacher for your hero training, but not just for all of you, but I'm also the teacher for Class 1A in their hero training as well. So there are times I won't be able to train you, and you'll be having to be trained by that of your homeroom teacher, Aizawa, instead." But then, hearing that, a few of them couldn't help but shudder in fear, realizing that All Might won't always be their teacher for their hero course training, and sometimes that Aizawa will be instead, which makes it even more somewhat terrifying. But while they do have that as the number one pro, they're going to at least enjoy it a bit. As All Might speaks up once more, saying, "Now you may be wondering what you're going to be doing for your first training exercise, and that will be this," before pulling out that of a card as it's read with that of one word on it: battle. With battle training. Within, Bakugo couldn't help but fight training. Within, Izuku getting a little nervous. However, for some reason, he could feel a spike of pure and utter hatred. However, it's coming from that of his Monsuno, though, wondering why. As then, All Might saying, "But before you even begin," as he soon pulls out that of a remote, before pressing a button saying, the hero court here at UA, you were given that of a form before coming to the school that would let you design your own hero costume to your specifications, and each of those suitcases have them, and it's numbered by that of your seating order here in Class 1A. But then everybody getting excited at this, saying, "Now put on your hero costumes and come straight for us." But then, hearing this, everybody couldn't help but get excited and hyped. But then Izuku realizing, "Oh crap, totally forgot." As a few days before that of turning in his entrance form, he was spending time with that of Mei and Yu as they were working on a mission to gain that of Monsuno essence. With then finishing up as both Yu and Mei saying, "You forgot to fill in out of your hero costume form?" But then Izuku couldn't help but feeling embarrassed, saying, yeah, I completely forgot about it. It was in last minute and I was so busy with working, having missions for Dad, so I couldn't. But then you saying, seriously, Izuku, you're supposed to be our leader and you're so scatterbrained from time to time. But then Izuku saying, I know, I'm sorry, but still, it's just annoying. But then make it up and say, you know, the hero, I could actually help out with that. But then Izuku saying, what? Yeah, I can help out with your costume. With hearing that, the green net can help but look at that of his pink-haired and goggle-wearing teammate saying, wait, you're serious, May? Saying, sure, it won't be on the same quality as that of, well, your current the hero costume that UA would make until I can make upgrades for you. But I can give you at least a prototype. Just label it on what you want, and I'll do what I can. But then, soon hearing this, Izuku couldn't help but basically cling to Mei, saying, you're the best, Mei. You're truly the best friend I could ever ask for. But then, without warning, Mei's entire face basically goes red. However, she has no idea the reason why her face is going red. As part of her is thinking, is it because of Izuku? Is it because he's hugging her? Is it because he's touching her in general? As all these theories basically rumble in her head, but then Izuku realized what he's doing before jumping back and almost like he basically was caught on fire, but then saying, sorry, I overreacted there. But then the blush basically fades, saying, oh, it's gone. But then Izuku saying, what's gone? With then Mei shaking her head sideways, saying, it's all right. Don't worry, Izuku, I got you. With Izuku could help but smile back. As for you, seeing the interaction between the two, with her couldn't help but think, why that entire interaction really annoyed me, and I'm more annoyed at Mei than I am at Izuku though. Then they're shaking their head saying, whatever. But then she's saying, so if we're done, I'm heading back to my apartment. I still gotta work as a pro after all. But then Izuku saying, see you. Thanks again, saying, yeah, whatever. As the female pro walks off, she couldn't help but think, seriously, what the hell am I thinking? As Yu is also feeling somewhat conflicted, but in her own way. As for back at UA, getting out of the flashback, within Izuku thinks, so I hope that the costume that you got me really works, Mei. What? I don't even know what you even gave me. Heading into the changing rooms, he soon noticed the costume, as he couldn't help but blink multiple times, saying, well, at least she didn't go overboard and made it simple. She even basically followed my specifications from that of the letter down. That's what I expect. But then, soon Izuku putting on that of his costume. Several minutes later, that's when All Might, waiting at that of training field beta, basically the same, mock city that everybody took during that of their entrance exam, with then noticing that of footsteps coming from a tunnel, with All Might still smiling, saying, you not only got to act like the pros, you gotta look the part of the pros. And I must say, all of you embody that very well. But then, showing that of everybody from Class 1A in their hero costumes, all still the same and everything. However, once Izuku shows up, his hero costume is completely and utterly different. Well, somewhat. Instead of the jumpsuit uniform that his mom made, instead, it's basically that of casual clothes with that of a custom-made jacket that looks exactly like that of his Omega costume, the first costume he gets in that of MHA, with that of a special-made hood that also acts as that of a cowl, alongside that of the same custom-made rebreather he would get with that of his, Gamma outfit actually, during the Hero Killer arc, a reinforced, woven titanium t-shirt under that of his jacket, and that of, fireproof, waterproof, and that of electrified proof pants, blue pants, while still wearing that of his iconic red sneaker boots, as this being Izuku's hero costume. With then soon Ochako going to that of Izuku saying, "Hey, Midoriya, look at your costume. It looks so cool. It looks casual too." But then Izuku kind of embarrassed talking to that of Ochako saying, "Oh, really? It was kind of a costume made by a friend of mine, so I didn't think much about it before then noticing that of Ochako's costume as he also begins to blush." But then Ochako bringing the fact that she should have been more specific about her costume, as it's kind of, well, skin tight after all. But then a certain grape-haired pervert couldn't help but have that of a thumbs up in the background. But then soon somebody in that of white suit of armor spoke up saying, "Midoriya, your costume doesn't seem as flashy, but to ever reach their own." But then recognized the voice saying, "Ida, is that you? Wow, you actually look like an Ingenium." With then Ida saying, "Oh, yes, actually." With then thinking you're a big fan, or with then realizing, wait, Ida? Oh my god, I should have recognized this. Ida, your last name Ida. You're part of the Ingenium family after all. Then Ochako saying, "Ingenium? Wait, Ida, you're rich?" Within Ida saying, "I am certainly not. Well, I am. My family is a little bit well off, but we're not rich. We're from. My family owns that of their very own hero agency, so it only makes sense. And our agency is basically generational. The current Ingenium now is my older brother, so." Within Izuku saying, "Oh, sorry if I'm putting you on the spot there, Ida. I didn't mean, it just snuck out, especially with your costume." I saying, no need to apologize, Midoriya. Your speculation was on point, and I should have been more clear. I just didn't want people to judge me and basically befriend me due to my family status, that's all. It's got in the way of me making actual friends from time to time." Then, hearing this, Izuku saying, "Well, even if you weren't related to Ingenium and you were just a fan of him, I would still be your friend. Even though you're pretty stiff." Say, "Stiff, you say? That is quite rude, but understandable. I get the same thing from that of my own older brother as well." But then, soon, noticing everybody else's costume, before noticing that of Bakugo basically glaring at that of Izuku, before Izuku feeling a little bit nervous, and then that's when the tense hatred comes again, saying, "Where's that hatred coming from?" Before touching his Monsuno and feeling the hatred, saying, "Wait, from them? But why?" Within, his Monsunos begin to glow. However, nobody noticed, as just like as a custom-made support gear, basically a holster for that of his Monsuno cores, 4 open slots on that of his right side, and 4 open slots on that of his left side, allowing him to access any number of Monsunos that he has on hand. May always comes in clutch, after all. Within, All Might finally getting everybody's attention, before then saying, "Now then, you all may be wondering why we are here." But then Ida basically asking the same questions before, that they're basically in the same training field that they did during the entrance exam, and asking if they'll be fighting against robots. But then All Might explaining that they won't be fighting against robots, and believing that they have the perfect chance to prove what they're truly capable of in that of combat training. This being 2-on-2 battles, heroes versus villains. But then hearing that, some getting excited, while some getting nervous. But then everybody asking tons of questions, from that of Ida to a Bakugo to Ochako to Aoyama. Same questions as before, with Bakugo asking how much he can hurt his foes, Ida asking how they're going to pick their teams, Ochako asking will it be expelled if they don't do so well, with Aoyama even asking does his cape make him look good. But then All Might answering each and every one of the questions as well, with that of Aoyama's cape makes him look good, Ochako, none of them will be expelled, with Ida, they'll be drawing lots, and Bakugo, if you rough them too much to the point that they need to go to the infirmary, he'll stop and they'll be disqualified. Within hearing all that, some were satisfied, some not so much, mainly Bakugo. Within, Ida asking, but wouldn't it be better for us to choose our teammates ourselves? Isn't it unethical to basically have us, team up with people that we have no connection with? But then Izuku make a comment saying, actually, Ida, it's kind of logical to choose randomly. I mean, pros normally had to work on the spot, especially if they're not from the same agency. So, of course, drawing lots is the perfect way to symbolize that of, pros working randomly together in that of combat and call for the situation. But then, hearing that, All Might saying, well done, young Midoriya. I expect nothing less from somebody like you. But then, All Might remembering all the way back those many years about that of last year when he met that of Izuku, about the fact that about the boy about him being quirkless, and yet now he does have a quirk, and yet it has to do with that of giant quirked animals at best, which really catches him off guard. All Might thinks that the boy may have some connection to that of his greatest enemy, believing that he may be still alive if this boy is. But given that he's not acting villainous, he has no hatred over him, even though he should, and yet he's still in that of the hero course. Not to mention his quirk registry was changed too, called Monsuno Essence. I've never heard of such a quirk before. Yet, I had to keep an eye on the young man, even more than I should have. And this training is a perfect chance to see. But then, All Might get out his thoughts saying, now then, everybody please come up and draw lots. Based on the letter that you get, is the person that you'll be teamed up with. But then, everybody goes up to that of the box and grab that of balls. But then soon, seeing that of what letter they'll have, with Izuku still being teamed up with Ochako, and everybody else being teamed up together as well, just like in that of the original Battle Trial training arc. But then soon, just like as before, Team A versus Team D, which Team A being Izuku and Ochako versus Team D, Ida and Bakugo. With then saying, now then, let me explain on what the training exercise will be between each and every one of us here. But then, All Might brings out that of a small notebook as it labels that of today's training exercise. Basically, the villains have that of a nuclear bomb. The hero's duty is to basically capture all of the villains or basically grab the bomb before time runs out. The villain's duty is to make sure that time runs out or capture all of the heroes. And that is what the training exercise will be. But then, many of them can't help but think, wow, that seemed like something from some B-list movie. Within soon, All Might clearing his throat with his hand, saying, now then, the villains will have that of extra time to go to that of the building to set up traps or a plan, while the heroes have time to at least try and make up a plan before that of the training exercise begins. Now then, you four, get going. Within, Bakugo mentally thinking, now's the perfect opportunity to put Deku back in his place. I don't know about those damn monsters before. The first time being hit by that damn cat, and then being knocked back by that damn giant overgrown turkey. With it, as soon looking back at Izuku with that of a glaring look of hatred, with Izuku nervously being glanced at before then, taking a calm deep breath before then, meeting Bakugo's glare with his own determination. But then seeing that, Bakugo couldn't help but get even more angry, saying, is he really thinking he can stand against me like a goddamn equal? Oh, he's going to regret that. But then Bakugo walking off in that of pure and utter rage alongside Ida, then Izuku saying, oh, I really gotta fight Kachan. But then feeling that of the immense hatred from his Monsunos again, saying, "Guys, why are you so angry? It makes no sense. Why be so angry?" Then, however, soon he begins to try and feel that of the thoughts of his Monsunos in that of their cores. Within, all of the thoughts say, "Destroy Bakugo." But then, soon, the glow from that of his cores begin to get even larger and larger. However, the glow was basically invisible to the naked eye outside of Izuku, as he's wondering what the hell is happening. Before then, Ochako snaps him out of it by grabbing that of Izuku's shoulder, saying, "Hey, Midoriya, you okay?" But then Izuku saying, "Yeah, I'm fine, Uraraka." With that, saying, "So, shouldn't we make a plan?" Saying, "Right, we should. Thanks for reminding me." With that, the two soon walks to that of where they'll be taking place in that of their training exercise. But then Izuku began to ask about that of Ochako's quirk being zero gravity, that she's able to nullify any gravity that she touches with the 5 of her pads on her fingertips. With Izuku basically rambling on about that of her quirk, how useful it is, especially when it comes to rescue work and even floating off the villains to make sure that they don't get anywhere close to that of civilians. Within, Ochako said that, thanks, as he soon goes on other tangents about how useful her quirk should be, possible, even thinking that maybe she may be able to add gravity too. But within, soon, Ochako getting freaked out saying, "Midoriya, you're kind of scaring me now, and it's starting to become a little creepy." Within, Izuku realized this saying, sorry, I kind of mutter a lot all the time when I think about people's quirks and anything like that and other applications for them. Sorry if I scared you like that." Within, she's saying, "It's fine. I guess I should have been at least a little bit more courteous after all." However, little did Ochako know, for some reason, both Mei and you felt like that Izuku was being insulted by somebody, and they feel angry on his behalf. Within, back with Izuku and Ochako, saying, "Even so, but still, your quirk is quite useful. I know the best way to use it in that of this exercise." Within, she's saying, "All right, what you have? Also, what about your quirk?" Saying, my quirk is called Monsuno Essence. I'm able to understand and interact with that of an ancient energy source that has been dormant within the planets, within that of the Earth, actually." Within, hearing that, Ochako couldn't help but blink multiple times, saying, "I'm sorry, what?" Within, Izuku blinking, saying, "I know it sounds a little bit complex and crazy, but trust me, it makes a lot more sense in other ways if you can see it." Then saying, "I thought your quirk had to do with those quirked animals, actually, from the entrance exam and also the practical test." Saying, "That's actually a second half of it." Within, pulling out that of Locke's core, within showing it, saying, "This is a Monsuno core, and inside of it is a Monsuno. It's something that my dad created. It's a support gear that anybody can actually use, but these Monsunos I have a connection with, a bond with, actually, due to my quirk. I'm able to understand and feel their emotions because of my quirk, actually." Within, saying, "Really? Wow, that is so cool." Within, Izuku saying, "Yeah, I think so. Plus, your dad created support gear for yourself? That even shows on how devoted he is. But I've never heard of your dad before. Is he a famous support gear maker?" Saying, "Actually, no. He's a archaeologist and bioscientist. He originally had his own laboratory called, most people don't know, especially about that a few months back, to be honest. It was called Cortec Labs." Within, Ochako saying, I actually know that. My dad actually built that, to be honest. It was one of the it was one of the most expensive and also one of the biggest contracts he ever made. So your dad actually helped out my family. I appreciate that." Within, Izuku couldn't help but say, "Wait, your family has a construction company business?" Saying, "Yeah, but I guess we'll talk about that later. Our time is almost out." Saying, Right, sorry. But as for my plan, knowing Kachan, he'll be coming straight after me. Best that we basically get this over with sooner than later. I can distract him by using me as bait. And with him focused on me a lot, it'll allow you to go and take care of Ida and get the bomb. With then saying, what about your Monsuno? Saying, my Monsunos are basically almost the size of a small car. Not to mention, Locke is the size of a 2-story building alongside Evo is the size of a 3-story building. I'm pretty sure that my Quirk and my Monsunos are at a disadvantage here. Within, however, as Izuku said this, that's when the glow from his Monsunos begin to glow even larger. Within, Izuku noticed this as the brightness is starting to overwhelm his eyes. Within, Ochako saying, hey, Midoriya, you okay? Saying, yeah, I'm fine. Within, Ochako saying, Bakugo, huh? Why does he call you Deku, though? Saying, it's an insult, basically calling me useless after all. Saying, really? I thought that it's actually a good name, though, since I thought Deku was basically you could do it. Saying, that's Dekiru, though. Then Ochako saying, oh, I see. But, if it's okay, can I call you that? But instead of an insult, why not just a normal nickname between friends? As Ochako says this with that of the biggest and most innocent smile of all time, which soon led to that of Izuku with that of a bright face and basically submitting pretty easily, say, you can call me Deku anytime you want. At the same time, it soon led to both Mei and you getting even more pissed for some reason on Izuku's behalf. Within, Izuku snapping out of it saying, okay, sure, you can call me Deku, but please try and don't call it too much. I feel like 2 people would get annoyed if you call me that. Saying, sure. But also, what about Bakugo? Saying, we know on Ida's quirk being engine, but Kachan's quirk, he's able to secrete that of a sweat-like substance that's similar to nitroglycerin, actually. It allows him to create explosions. He can make them as small as just pops to that of full-on explosions that can basically engulf you and even send you flying from the shockwaves alone. Trust me, I know. As Izuku's been on the receiving end of that explosion for so long. As he soon says this once again, his cores begin to glow, saying, why are they glowing so much? It makes no sense. But then, Izuku could also feel a headache coming from him at the same time, saying, my head. Within, Ojak saying, hey, Deku, you okay? Saying, yeah, I'm fine. But we still need to do this. No turning back now, right? Within, Ojak saying, yeah. With that, soon, back with that of Ida and Bakugo, as Ida basically was resistant on wanting to basically play the part of villains. However, he decides to take it up and try to become more serious. As for Bakugo, he keeps on thinking about Izuku's Monsunos and how he got into UA. But then saying, hey, Four Eyes, you're close with Deku. Do you really think he has a quirk? But then Ida saying, I'm pretty sure he does. I mean, given the quirk animals that he's able to conjure up in real life, it would make sense. But then saying, do you not know them? I mean, you both came from the same middle school, and you do call him by by a nickname. Do you not? Saying, whatever. I don't know a damn thing. And that's what pisses me off even more. And that, within saying, you, stay the hell out of my way. I'm going after Deku. Keep an eye on the damn bomb anyway. Saying, that is not a plan, Bakugo. Saying, just shut up and stay out of my way, you worthless extra. But then, hearing that, Ida saying, my word. But then, Ito is about to comment back before thinking, wait, no, this is Bakugo just playing into the role, right? It only makes sense now. Of course he would act quite villainous and act like this. No self-respecting and sane person would basically belittle somebody like this for no reason. Soon, the exam begins as Izuku and Ochako fly up to that of the second floor, so they wouldn't go through that of the first floor. But then, Izuku telling Ochako to remember the plan, as she does. But then Izuku could feel his head basically pounding as he has his left hand on his head, on the side of his head. Within, Ochaka saying, "Hey, Deku, are you really okay?" Saying, "Yeah, I'm fine. Just what's going on?" Within, feeling the glow from that of his cores once more. Within soon, however, before he could focus, that's when a familiar black suited orange and spiky Pomeranian, when an explosion quirk comes over that of the corner and sends a blast of an explosive blast towards Izuku and Ochako, with Izuku grabbing Ochako and forcing her to dodge out of the attack. However, it basically torn apart that of his hero costume, especially around that of the right side, on the right side of his hood, and also burning away that of his sleeve and somewhat of his glove. But then Ochako saying, "Deku, are you okay?" Saying, "Yeah, I'm fine. Still, why is my head still hurting?" Within, Bakugo getting out of the smoke and saying, "There you are, you damn nerd. I'm gonna make sure to remind you your place." Within, with that of the villain and that of the two heroes now interacting, with Izuku saying, "Uraka, go!" With her saying, "But remember the plan, go!" Within, she soon runs off, as then Izuku stands back up on that of shaky feet, feeling somewhat worried and somewhat scared at the same time, but stands his ground no matter what. Seeing the look on Izuku's face, Bakugo couldn't help but say, "It's that goddamn look. Even though you're scared out of your goddamn mind, you're always in my goddamn way." Within, Bakugo leaps forward towards Izuku with that of a right hook, with Izuku noticing that. As soon, he steps out of the way, before then grabbing Bakugo's arm, and then slamming him over with that of a judo throw, causing Bakugo to gasp in pain from his back hitting the ground. Seeing the perfect opportunity, he soon runs forward to make sure to keep Bakugo distracted. Even though that's basically way easier than he thought it would be, given how much he hates him. Within, Izuku running as fast as he can, Bakugo getting his bearings once more, couldn't help but get irritated, saying, "Damn you, Deku!" As he soon blasts forward once more, trying to catch up with Izuku, which is not even hard to do, because Izuku is running on foot. But then, as Izuku continues running, he goes over to a corner, but then runs further and further. However, that's when his Monsunos begin to glow even brighter and brighter, alongside the headache, saying, "Why is this happening? Damn it!" As now the pain is becoming too unbearable to the point that he goes down to his knees. Within, soon, Bakugo seeing this saying, "So stop running now, you shitty ass nerd!" Within, explosions popping through that of his gloves. Within, Izuku saying, "I can't think straight. Why?" Without warning, feeling the overwhelming fear and pain coursing through his body, he grabs onto that of Locke's core crystal as the glow begins to get even brighter and brighter. Within, Bakugo saying, "How did it feel basically laughing at me, humiliating me over and over again? Lying about your quirk, basically surpassing me in the entrance exam, beating me during that damn test, humiliating me with those damn monsters? You really are a pain in my ass, and I'm going to make you suffer for it!" Within, Bakugo is about to send a powerful explosion towards Izuku. However, as soon as he places his hand on Locke's core, that's when his entire body begins to glow in a bright blue light, almost like that of the light from that of a Cortec Monsuno, basically coming out of its core. Back in the monitor room, everybody's completely and utterly shocked and surprised. Even All Might's wondering what's going on too. And soon, the light dying down, back into that of the test area, within Izuku standing back up. However, once the light fully dies down, his appearance changes as Izuku grows at least that of a few inches taller, from being 5'5" to now 6 feet tall, with that of massive arms that look like, with that of spikes coming out, with that of a somewhat blue chest plate on that of his chest, and also looking like his hair is growing out a little bit longer over the sides. And not only that, having ears coming out from the top of his head like that of bear ears. But then soon, the light fully materialized from his body before then showing himself, still in his hero costume and everything, however, with a few changes, as his arms are completely cut, looking like that of massive polar bear arms, with that of blue gemstone spikes coming off, with that of even his claws having that of the blue gemstones, a blue chest-plated armor with that of glowing lines, and not only that, and what stands out the most, his green hair turning into that of a snow white, for even that of his green eyes, alongside that of the whites in his eyes as well, basically turn into that of a bright sky blue, with even you can see him showing his teeth, which now looks like that of rows of sharp fangs that look like that of blades. With soon Bakugo saying, "What the hell?" But then, almost snarling like that of a wild animal, Izuku bends down, and that of a blinding speed, he soon grabs Bakugo by that of his face, before then slamming him to the ground, cratering the metal within the hallway. Within, Bakugo basically couldn't help but gasp in that of so much pain, before then sending a burst of explosions towards Izuku's face and body. However, no matter how many explosions land on that of Izuku's body, nothing is actually changing at all. Within, soon getting annoyed, he soon slams him into that of the wall, cratering the metal, and this time you could actually hear that of bones snapping, with Bakugo soon coughing up a small trickle of blood from his mouth, as he soon goes to that, slumping to the wall. However, not finishing, as Izuku lands that of a powerful, massive punch into Bakugo's chest, sending him flying through that of the metal wall into that of another room. But then, not even holding anything back, he roars, and that's of a blood-curdling roar that's like that of Locke. In the mining room, everybody is completely and utterly shocked and surprised. With then, soon Kirishima couldn't help but speak up saying, "Whoa, look at Midoriya. He looks so cool, but isn't he going a little too far?" Within, Hakakure, or that of Invisible Girl, couldn't help but say, "Yeah, isn't Midoriya's being a little too scary and brutal? I mean, Bakugo seems like a jerk, but does he even deserve that?" Within, Tokiyami saying, "I think his quirk has gone berserk." Within, everybody looking at that of the Raven Bird teen, within saying, "I've seen what berserk quirks look like, and I think Midoriya has no idea what he's doing. I think he's acting on pure and utter instinct." A big guy with that of massive lips, being Sato, could up say, "Don't you think that's a little too presumptuous? But shouldn't he already know how to control his quirk?" All Might seeing this saying, what is going on? Is that really his quirk? What kind of quirk did All For One give him? Or it almost didn't look like, he almost seemed like he didn't know what was happening. Or rather, it just happened out of nowhere. I have to stop this. I know, but I need to see how far this goes. How far this young man's quirk that was given to him is. It just has to be. All Might's in his own thoughts. A few other people in Class 1A couldn't help but be worried on how far, and maybe this is taking a little bit too far. With that of Bakugo and Izuku, with Bakugo coughing up more and more blood and spit, would then say, I knew you had a quirk all this time, you damn bass! Before he could finish, that's when he was grabbed by the face again, before basically spun around, before tossed into that of another room, through another wall, cradling the metal once again. But then, soon, Bakugo couldn't help but cough out even more and more of spit and blood, before then saying, screw this shit, I am not losing to you. I'm not losing to some bastard who has lied to me in my entire life. Without warning, he soon brings up that of his grenade gauntlets, pulls back the pin, and already unleashes it without even All Might telling him not to. Within soon, the blast basically goes straight for Izuku. However, Izuku, on the other hand, not even phased, as then the explosion consumes him and then sends flying through that of the entirety of the building, causing that of a huge hole of explosions on the other side, forcing Ochako and Ida, who were basically in their own little, fight actually, even though Ida basically got all the debris that would have been in the area somewhere else before Ochako could use it as set of projectiles. And now, basically stumbled on the ground, flipped over with Ida wondering, what's going on? Bakugo, what was that? With then, Bakugo not even listening, as with that of a grin of pure and utter joy and that of excitement, thinking he beat Deku, he beat Izuku, that he's the best. However, without warning, the dust and explosions begin to clear, as there's literally no scorch marks around Izuku, because the reason why, there's basically a barrier, as it looks like Locke's elemental bunker, as that of Izuku growling once more. Before then, Bakugo could prepare his second gauntlet shot. Without warning, Izuku grabs him by his arm and crushes it, as Bakugo could help but scream in that of agony. Before then, Izuku charging up that of his left palm, as it being Locke's power paw, as the green light, as that of the blue light energy channeling that of the gemstone in the palm of his hand, but then slamming it in Bakugo's chest, cracking even more ribs, and sending him flying more into that of the bent metal, into that of another hallway. But then, soon, Bakugo actually couldn't breathe. He couldn't think straight. He couldn't think of anything, as all he could think of is literally nothing but pain, hatred, and fear towards Izuku, as Izuku walks to Bakugo with that of the same sharp-fanged teeth and the glowing blue eyes. However, inside of Izuku's head saying, why? Why is this happening? I don't get it. I know I'm not a big fan of Kachan anymore, but even I wouldn't go this far. Why is this? Before then, a calm, somewhat normal, but powerful voice spoke up saying, because I'm the one who's doing this, partner. Within, hearing that voice, as he'd never heard it in his life, but he could feel it. He knows it. Before then, turning around, before noticing that of the Monsuno that he has grown to have a bond with for 9 months, as this being the same polar bear Monsuno, Locke. But then Izuku saying, Locke, you can talk? I've always could talk. It's just through your quirk you're only able to feel what I'm thinking instead of able to understand what I'm saying. But then Izuku saying, yeah, I guess that makes sense. But still, what's going on? Why? The reason that is happening is because I am the one doing this. But then Izuku saying, wait, what? Why? Do you know how much I have seen through your memories, your feelings, your emotions because of your quirk? Being connected, we were both connected through Monsuno essence. So it isn't just a one-way street with you. It's the same with me. I have seen him basically belittle you, treat you like crap, constantly hating on you all the time, to the point that you always are beaten and belittled because of him. It's the reason why you have little self-confidence in yourself outside of Monsuno battles. You're lucky that you chose me over Nightstone, because if you fused with her, who knows on how much she would have held back at all. With then hearing that saying, but I wouldn't want this. I don't, saying, it's not that you want this. It's that you need this. But then you need to see this. See the person who is tormented, abused, and is treating you as nothing but things beneath his dirt. And you, worst of all, when he treats everybody else like they're nothing but pebbles on his road, but you are treated even worse than anything he has done. Are you really saying that he doesn't deserve this? Saying, not to this degree, Locke. Please, give me back my body. I need to stop this. Within, Locke basically growling for a bit. Before then, huffing, saying, fine. Only on one condition, though. Within, Izuku saying, name it, please. Within, Locke going over to the Izuku's face, getting straight into his eyes, saying, you fight for yourself. Stand up for yourself. Because remember, like you said, you are not alone. You don't just have Evo, Nightstone, and Deep Six, but you also have your teammates, that inventor girl and that pro hero woman. Do you really think that you're still alone? That you think that you can't stand up for yourself anymore? Within, Izuku hearing that, as he thinks of May and Mount Lady. Before then, saying, you're right, but it takes time. Getting over your fears over somebody who's belittled you and treats you like crap is easier said than done. I will let you know this. The next time that the two of us fuse together, and if you are in true danger, and if you hold yourself back, I will take over. Because you are important to me, Izuku Midoriya. After all, you are the key to understanding all Monsuno. Within, after saying that, soon everything begins to fade. Before then, Izuku's eyes went back to that of the emerald green. However, there's still a little bit of blue as that of his glowing blue eyes begin to dim. But then, soon, seeing that of Bakugo, still trying to stand up even without broken ribs and coughing like crazy. But then soon, Izuku standing back, before then gripping his hands, preparing himself, no longer growling, but still determined, saying, I'm not your punching bag anymore, Kachan. But then Bakugo seeing Izuku, as even though his body is in that of constant pain, he can hear what Izuku is saying. I'm sorry that I went this far. I didn't mean it, but I understand now. You and I are not going to be friends, given how much you basically treat me like crap. So I'll put aside all of that and reach my own goal and put aside everything about us. You leave me alone and I leave you alone. Simple as that. But remember this, I am not Deku. Remember my name. I am Izuku Midoriya. And I will be a hero. I don't need your damn permission to do so. Within, Bakugo say, Deku. As then, he passes out from the pain and laying on the ground. And soon, Izuku saying, okay, yeah, you really went really bad, Locke. Then soon getting a call from Ochako as saying that she's still struggling without the bomb. But then Izuku saying that he's on his way. As soon as he starts running, he realized that he's actually a lot more faster than he was before. as even when at his base form, he wouldn't be able to run this quickly and this fastly, after all, without a Monsuno. As he reaches that at the top floor already, within, Ida's saying, "So you've come to aid your partner here." As Ida, before Ida can finish, seeing that of Izuku, within Ochaka saying, "Deku, is that you?" Saying, "Yeah." Anyway, within Izuku thinking, "Okay, if I'm fused with luck, then that means I have his abilities." Within, soon, thinking straightly, as he remembers all of Locke's powers, within saying, "I got this. I've been training with Locke all this time. I know everything that he's capable of." As Izuku closes his eyes, before then, he can actually see all of the moves that Locke is capable of. Before then, open them, say, "Power charge!" Instead of the symbols and that of the spike and the gemstone spikes on Izuku's arms begin to glow, that of a bright sky blue. Within, it also channels through that of his body as he rushes towards that of the bomb. As Ida grabs the bomb and rushes forward. However, Izuku doesn't stop there, as then, and that's able to control how he turns, unlike that of Ida, who can only go straight forward. He soon grabs that of Ida, tosses him back, before then grabbing the bomb. Within, soon, Ida saying, "What? But how?" But then, within, Izuku could help but say, "Sorry, Ida, but I think I now fully understand what my quirk is now capable of." With that, and a blare goes off, within saying, as All Might says over the intercom, saying, "The hero team wins!" As then, without warning, Izuku's body begins to go back to normal, as the bright blue light begins to come off his body. At the same time, he goes back to his normal height, no longer having Locke's arms, and his hair goes back to that of its fluffy, messy green. Hero costume is still pretty much torn, though, because of Bakugo, as he still has that of Locke's core in his hands, before then dropping it, and then feeling like he's about to pass out, is exactly what he does, with Ida and Ochako saying, "Midoriya, Deku!" Within, everybody in the monitor room, on the other hand, were still wondering in shock what the hell just happened. Even that of All Might wanting to step in as soon as he could, as he was worried as seeing on how brutal that, Izuku was to Bakugo. He was about to stand in if he did the same to that of Ida. However, showing that he didn't. If anything, he saw the potential. Not only that, looking back over that of Bakugo and Izuku's conversation, it almost, throughout the entirety he was fighting him, he didn't basically, fight. He didn't basically talk while beating him, but at the very end, he did. Even spoke, saying that he can be a hero, and he will be a hero no matter what anybody says. Within, remembering those words, feels like it was directed towards him as well. Within, soon, All Might wondering, just who are you, Izuku Midoriya? As the first battle trial comes to an end. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Let's read them. And yeah, this is what I've been building up to when it came to that Izuku's quirk that's able to understand, manipulate, and control Monsuno essence. Just think about it. The power to basically fuse with one's Monsunos and take on their characteristics while still having somewhat a human features after all. I mean, come on, that just sounds badass. Not to mention, I don't just plan on having the Monsunos fight as well. The controllers are also going to be fighting one another while their Monsunos are fighting too. And I don't want to make Izuku just completely and utterly defenseless after all. So yeah. Anyway, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification to keep to date my videos uploaded to the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, gaming channel, side channel, other channel, Patreon, and Cash App. All link in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Mooky signing out. Later, guys. Hope you all take care. Do your thing, my Shiro.
Hi everyone, this is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell and check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!